Okay, let's take a look at your swim during the warm-up when we first got in the water. One of the things that you'll notice is that there's an abundance of splashing both on your hands and your feet. Now this is a double-edged sword with the wetsuit because it does keep you so high in the water that your feet do have a tendency to come out of the water. So as you're approaching the camera here, what you can see, watch your right hand right here. Notice how beautiful the entry is. There's no bubbles. You're piercing the water and reaching to the other end of the pool. Now contrast that to your left arm. Watch right here. You can see where you kind of slam your hand on top of the water, creates a splash. So I wanted to slow it down. Take a look at it. Same exact clip, just slowed down. You'll see that the left hand slams the water, lots of splash. Watch your right hand. Nice clean entry, very little splash. And you'll notice that your feet keep coming up in the back, and that's because the wetsuit is keeping you so high in the water. This is why I want you to keep your core tight. So think about piercing your belly button against your spine. That'll help keep your feet underneath the water. Because remember, we want to reduce as many bubbles as possible so we can leverage the water as much as possible. You'll also notice that you're zigzagging left and right. And what's happening there is because your strength is one of your biggest assets, what's happening is under the water, you're pushing the water to the side, and that's causing you to zigzag down the lane. Again, another double-edged sword with the wetsuit. Wetsuit makes you swim faster, but it allows you to get off course even that much quicker. When you get ready to come back the other direction, just as a point of reference, whenever you're swimming in the pool, I want to make sure that you don't take your first stroke until you get past those flags overhead. This establishes a neuromuscular memory in the body on what it's like to swim in a real torpedo fashion. See how you rush your first stroke right off the bat. So as you come back this way, you'll notice that the left arm doesn't come up quite as high as the right arm, and that's because you tend to breathe on the right side, and that's where you're comfortable. So you'll see that the left arm comes around, big splash, you raise your head up, and then you drop your head back down. This is causing your feet to flare up even more so because remember what we discussed, this is a compensation that you'll do. When your head comes up, your hips drop, and your feet naturally want to overkick. So I want you to be really aware of that. Another thing I want you to look at is notice that your right hand, you put it right in line with your shoulder. Now watch your left hand, it'll come across your head. And this is causing more drag. Remember what we talked about in class. If anything comes across your spine, that becomes hydro drag immediately. So you want to keep your arms in line with your shoulders, and you want to keep your legs and your feet directly behind your hips. You can see your feet flaring out there quite a bit when you go to breathe. Watch right here. Watch your left leg. You'll go to take a breath and watch your feet go way out. So give those things some focus. Focus on being tall, little cleaner hand entry, and try to keep those feet under the water.